good day, buenos dias, and dzień dobry, which is my newest addition to my very vast array of foreign languages that I speak. Dzień dobry is the extent of my Polish. Very difficult language to learn. I look forward to learning more. I was confronted with it because I just certified my 40th office in Farmington, Connecticut, which is very much a Polish-speaking office, in core training. It was a delightful experience, an amazing office. They were fun, they were intelligent, they were eager to learn. And I walked away from there thinking, it's going to be a successful office. And we spent a lot of time this week talking about my favorite topic lately, which is choices. And this week, last week, choices, oftentimes when you talk about choices, you talk about habits. And the more choices you turn into habits, the easier or the simpler life becomes. And perhaps in 2019, we need to learn how to simplify our lives, our offices, by actually creating more habits. So there are less choices, and we can spend more time with the choices that are really important. So my gift to you for the new year is 12 choices that I feel will make your life easier, and as I go through them, I will tell you why I feel will make your life easier. There are 12 areas that the 40 offices most have adapted. Today we're going to cover the applicant call-in log. We will cover interviewing, onboarding, work order accuracy, the proper process for bathroom, kitchen, and dusting so that it is quality-driven and efficient. I'm going to go over the most commonly seen errors I see in homes. Periodic tasks, one-on-ones, empowering working supervisors, and last and certainly not least, field operations managers. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the applicant call-in log. Do you have one? Do you even have any idea what it is? Or far more, how valuable it is? What it really is a manual log of every human being who ever indicated an interest in wanting to clean houses. If you have it on your software and you're utilizing it, that's great. But of the 40 offices I've been in, those offices who tell me they have the capabilities on their software had nothing in the software. It's kind of not the handiest thing to use when the phone rings and there's suddenly an applicant on the line. It seems to be easier to grab a 3-ring binder and just write it in there. So the applicant call-in log is tracking people who are interested in cleaning houses, which to me is far more valuable than people who are interested in having their houses cleaned. Because if you are needing a house cleaner, it has a big impact on 2 very important areas in your company. One is your vision of growth. You cannot grow, you cannot clean those sales that are in your inbox, your emails, your inquiries, if you don't have cleaners. It impedes your vision. You make promises to your cleaners and to your managers that when your numbers are on the wall, they will get a bonus. Well, those numbers can't go on the wall if there's nobody there to clean those houses. So it impedes that vision and their vision. Secondly, it can have a very negative impact on your values, your company values. And if your company values are the compass that guide your employees and keep them on track to your office, and that compass goes wacko, off kilter, your employees will go wacko and off kilter and perhaps not find their way back to the office because you have not stayed on track with those values. And what do I mean by that? The employee that comes to you at the close of a day and says, I need tomorrow off, that will be their absence past your absenteeism policy. They've had several quality issues. You don't differentiate between excused and unexcused absences. They are rude to their partners, and now they're sitting here telling you that they're taking tomorrow off, and it's up to you what you want to do about it. If you do not terminate that employee because they need to be terminated, But you keep them on board because you are overbooked tomorrow already, and as an owner, you're already going out. So you don't terminate them. Those values have just gone wacko. Why have them? They are no longer the compass, the guide to your employees. And you will not only not have that employee show up tomorrow, but you'll have several others not show up eventually. What would have been the answer to this? Something as simple as a log of names of people who called and showed an interest that you can rapidly get this employee out of there, terminate them, say, bye-bye, the decision is yours, and get on that phone as fast as you can and call employees and get a couple of them to show up tomorrow. Show them the videos at 7 o'clock in the morning, whoever shows, and get out there and get them started. Because you know whatever is in that book is far better than what's sitting in front of you. Work that book. When somebody does resign, when you do need somebody for growth, go to that book first because you've talked to these people. When I go to offices, we don't want resumes. It takes too long to read them and it doesn't tell you anything about these people anyway. You want to talk to them, ask them some very simple questions. Like what you hear, bring them in for an interview because again, it's going to take 5 to get one to show up. And you don't know who they are, you cannot judge a book by its cover. But keep all those notes there, so the next time you need an employee and you need somebody with a driver's license, you at least know not to call the ones without a driver's license. But if you have teams and you don't need somebody with a driver's license, you can call them all. That is your treasure chest. That is your ability to keep your integrity going. So how do you get the names in this applicant call-in log? You get them by being engaged in this process. You need to talk to a lot of people. Don't ask for resumes, it's time consuming. You need to talk to them and get a feel for them. Ask them the basic questions and write down the answers. What's their name? Are they working now? When was their last job? Do they have any experience cleaning? Can they drive? Do they have a driver's license? Because one certainly doesn't have anything to do with the other. What's their phone number? And when can they come in for an interview if you like what you hear? And then take good notes and keep them in your applicant call-in log. If you're out in the field and you took it on the back of a McDonald's bag, bring that McDonald's bag into the office and get it on the applicant call-in log because it's more valuable, again, than a client. And you never know when you might need them. Because you need enough names and numbers to call. You can run Indeed and Craigslist a couple times and you'll come up with 50 to 70 names and then you need to call them. I'm totally convinced that numbers haven't changed much since the day I had my business 15 years ago. Well, 10 years ago actually. And we had 60 employees and we used to do 180 W-2 forms. I think the numbers are the same today. I'm convinced that you call 4 people and you will talk to 1. You will set up 5 appointments and 1 will show up. Out of every 3 that show up, 1 is hireable. Of every 3 you hire, 1 will stay for 3 months or longer. So you need to start out with 180 phone calls. It's kind of like looking for a needle in a haystack, isn't it? The question is it worth it to you? I'll tell you what, folks, I'm a farmer's daughter. I know what it's like to look for something in a haystack because I lost my charm from confirmation once. Shouldn't have been wearing it out in the haystack. Certainly didn't want to tell my mom I had it on and lost it. So I had to find this. It was, thank heavens, at the bottom because you don't climb to the top of a haystack. You'll probably kill yourself. But I had to go through every single piece of hay, and they're tiny, they're like a toothpick, to find this necklace. The question is, how valuable is it to you? If somebody told you that there was a gold needle in every one of these haystacks you're looking at, these 10 haystacks, and every one of those gold needles was worth $72,000 a year gross. You, of course, had to, maintain it every month and take care of it, so you bring about half of that home to do with what you want to run your business. My question is, would you look for those needles in those haystacks? 10 needles, $720,000 for the rest of your lives as long as you take care of the needles. Because you know what? That's what a cleaner's worth to you. About $6,000 a month if you're billing at $40 an hour. $72,000 a year. I'd say it's worth it. But what I'd also say is, let's make this job as easy as possible. Eventually, hopefully, you'll get better at finding those needles. But you can rework your haystack. You can go back in there and call the 170 that you didn't use the first time around. You've got notes on them now. Give them a second chance. Give them an opportunity to call them again. If they didn't show up for the interview, I've always given them 2 chances. I've missed hair appointments, I've missed nail appointments. Haven't you missed an appointment, a doctor's appointment? Give them a second chance, not a third. They're right in there. Do not call again. But rework those names. Some of them have had their job for 3 months and now they don't like it anymore. Work smarter, not harder. But do remember it's a numbers game, so you need fewer numbers if you have more valuable numbers. So rework and take good notes. So number 1, make it a habit to get whoever inquired in the applicant call-in log, and make sure you got enough numbers in that log that you can run your business the way you want to run your business. See you Thursday when we talk about the cleaning game changer and how it can change your company, your cleaning, and your life. Thanks for joining me.